Imagine you're out at a restaurant, more specifically a hibachi type grill. A customer orders a meal, chicken fried rice, a teriyaki sirloin, and grilled shrimp on the side, hot sake, and a dessert. But in this case, you are the chef now. As a chef, the restaurant expects the chef and the customer to know things that are inherently only known to the staff. And as a brand new recruit chef, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. Now there is a vague menu with pictures of all the food and all of the meals, but it's hidden away underneath the customer's seat. So there may be 60 different types of meat in front of you. The vegetables, the seasoning, they're spread out through the restaurant. The dishes are hidden in the customer's vehicles that are in the parking lot. The sake has not been created. The shrimp that they would have ordered is still in the ocean. There is no grill. This is your task as the new chef. You have to find the correct meat, the correct rice, the correct seasoning. You have to find the cooking utensils, dishes, and distillery to create a meal, and also ferment the rice to make sake. You also have to learn how to create a grill, since there are none in the place of business. You have to learn how to sail, fish, locate, and capture shrimps. You spend years trying to figure out the ins and outs of the culture of hibachi grilling, learning where, how, and what you need to do to become proficient enough to cook the customer this single meal that they haven't ordered yet. 2, you take all of the ingredients, take it to a different restaurant, and you cook something completely different. 3, you could go on YouTube and figure out how to make this meal, the grill, the sake, and feed it to your customer. Lastly but not least, you could just quit. This is Path of Exile for a new player. My problem with the game already was the fact that they don't give you a description on the class that you're playing. But like, listen, is a witch with a wand, fighter with a rapier, an archer / ranger, there's a barbarian, can hammer, thief rogue with a dagger, some sort of caster right here. My problem is I couldn't figure out what the hell this one was, so this is what I picked. I picked a Scion.
A Scion is perfection in mind, body, and grace. The crowning glory of our civilization, offering us hope, offering us light. But you gave us only murder and darkness. May Rayclast embrace you as we cannot, for your very presence has become too painful to bear.
But I feel like body, mind, and grace would also be someone who would use a rapier, so it really just doesn't make sense to me. But you only gave murder and darkness? Absolutely no idea. Body, mind, and grace could also point to monk. Could be a monk. Don't know. First off, I'm a Scion, and I just picked up my first weapon, which was a sword. So that makes me assume that this character uses swords and the like. The tutorial is really informative, and it tells you exactly what you need to do with that rock, okay? Now, as a new player, right off the rip, they're showing you how easy it is to die, right? Which I don't think is a problem inherently. And I am also getting shit on. Look at this damage. This is still the learning phase, and it feels like there's a lot of enemies with immense burst potential. Little fucking crustaceans, right? As a new player, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. The problem is the quest is sending me to this spot. I just got done getting killed 3 times by the 4th enemy that I found in the game. Enter this cave, looking for zombies, and then I get schwacked by a couple of these baby crabs. I've been using the Spectral Throw ability since the beginning, so that means it's been leveling up with me. Level it up again right here. But I'm opting to use a brand new teleport attack that I just found than the ability that I've had on the entire game. This is my entire early game playthrough. How long does it take to clear this one pack? We're at 25 minutes exactly. 48 seconds? It sounds like, oh, that's not that much. That's a long time. I'm trying to word this in a way that doesn't sound like I'm just complaining. The game gives you 3 or 4 materia to complete the next area with, and I'm unable to complete the content at a reasonable level or pace. My mouse is right here. You have to have your mouse on top of the spider for its health bar to show up. I am attacking this monster. My mouse is on this monster. Why is the targeting indicator targeting the corpse underneath the alive yellow monster? Now my mouse was nowhere near this guy here. Nowhere near. But it's forcing me to auto attack after I flame dash. Still trying to click over here to go that way. Auto attack. I'm just moving, attack, and now I'm stuck in the animation. Your left click is bound to attack. Your left click cannot be unbound. You have no way to change it. Now to add on to the auto attacking business, press flame dash while my mouse is over an enemy. It doesn't register that I'm trying to flame dash and I have to spam click it while moving my mouse in order to move. Look at the mouse. I'm trying to escape this by moving my mouse up and then left, and I'm clicking while I'm doing this to try to get away. However, my character is auto attacking and I'm stuck. These fucking off screens. Where the fuck did these two come from? I have to react in a split second to not get hit by those two projectiles? Why in any game is it they can see me but I can't see them? It just feels bad. I'm here. He spawns this one right here, right? My mouse is over here, trying to move away. Auto attack. I tried to teleport through him, however, I decided to auto attack first and then teleport, which led to me getting a shit ton of damage. Now my mouse is here. My character was about to go for another auto attack when I was interrupted and staggered by another attack. And as you can see here, let's look at where my mouse is. We're going to zoom in for this. Ready? It's weird teleporting. There it is again, getting staggered. Staggered. Your character doesn't know what to do. I have 83 physical damage reduction. 83% physical damage reduction. 83%. Plus 75 fire, 75 cold, and 75 lightning resistance. What kind of damage are these spikes? Looks like ice to me. That's ice, right? Resistance is at 75%. Alright, the lady is back. Now these books, they have lightning around the books, and she is kind of summoning little lightning balls. Alright. This one's doing melee, and these are the books again. And now I'm dead. Get what's over here. Yep. Okay. Level 42. Okay. These monsters are like level 36. Or 37 maybe? What damage are they dealing? What am I supposed to do here to better prepare myself? Switch my whole build to ranged? You remember this picture where I stand still and I'm fucking electrocuting someone for a half hour? Yeah, it's still happening. At level 61. Look at this damage per second. 14,000. Ah, this is my next wall. It's evasive, it does extra cold damage, it's accurate, and it's fast. Okay? Rogue's Grip, no idea what the fuck that means. Cold damage? Okay, cold damage. 118 resistance. I'm maxed, like I'm capped out on my resistance. And now estimated physical damage reduction is somehow 70. So, 70% damage reduction, I get one shot by a stupid fucking spider. Purple attacks. Look at all the purple attacks. What is purple? So as you can tell, there's more ads in this one. He's shooting some red shit. There's some poison over there. So there's blood damage, poison damage. I want you to tell me what kind of damage this crab is dealing to me right now. This, what is that? We're in an ocean, right? So let's just break it apart. We're in an ocean, we're on a beach, there's water on the floor, there's water over here. He's a crab, that means he probably does water damage, correct? What damage type is this? Light? I don't have light resistance. Is that physical? Is that what I need armor for? Is it fire because light is hot? This color of purple looks like poison. These beams look like void damage of sorts, or shadow damage. It's a spinner of shadows. So I can assume probably that a spider would deal poison. And if shadows is in the name, shadow damage? There is no shadow damage title in the game. There's no poison damage title in the game. The closest two things I can think of is chaos, because I don't know what chaos looks like. Usually chaos is like red, demonic. Now purple, I'm assuming is probably chaos damage, right? I don't know though. It could be. Could be lightning. That looked like a lightning bolt. So is it lightning and chaos, or is it just lightning? No idea. I don't know. Like, the game isn't telling me enough here. It's not telling me at all, actually, what the fuck is happening right now. Physical, right? Maybe ice? I don't know what that one means. Maybe it's confusion. Maybe it's stun. This is obviously ice. This is obviously fire. That's obviously electricity. What kind of damage do glowing gray swords deal? The game discourages you from using new abilities. I just picked this up and it's supposed to deal damage over time and curse them. And if one dies, the damage is supposed to spread to another enemy. See, Contagion Gem level 1 is ready to level up to level 2. Why do you pick up level 1 gems at a higher level? It just means that you have to waste time putting them into your gear to level them up, so that they will eventually maybe become useful. But you can't really test their functionality until they're leveled up. So it's a weird system. Vendors. Why do all the vendors only sell blue and white items up until all the way until level 61 is when I found my first yellow item at a vendor. First things first, the crafting system itself. You pick a prefix, you pick a suffix, put an item. These currencies that they're asking you to use, you'd have to go into your stash, pull them out, put them in your inventory to count how many you have. So I put my ring in there and I add intelligence because that's my main stat, so why not? Alright, I got the max roll for intelligence, that's good. That taught me how to craft, and that's good. The text on this item is too big. There's too much here. Cast time is the same. What's above it? I'm losing out on whatever the hell else it's saying. I can't read it. Not only is the game expecting you to read all of this, but it's also expecting you to go get the normal version of whatever to read the material on this orb. Holy shit. This is my third amulet. Oh yeah. Up until like almost level 50, and I've only found 3 amulets in the entire game. Like, I still haven't figured out why there's 2 different abilities on it. I don't know why storing one use is good, but like the amount of time it takes to get a charge, it's like, I don't know, I don't see how that's worth putting on your build. Like, I just don't understand it. And you have constant images of this screen spam because the game expects you to know what a loot filter is. We saw this sword on the floor, and the sword was highlighted and it had its name out. There's an item right there, you can see it. It's a little wand, right? There is 2 ways to show inventory on the floor, like items. One is if you hold a button, I think mine was X or Z. Hour and 10 minutes into the game, I'm still looking for the way to see items that are on the floor. UI is the user interface, okay? In the items tab, you don't have show items on the floor. Why isn't it there? Why isn't it next to your item filter? In gameplay, at the bottom, always highlight. It's not under items. I'd say that the game generally has a pretty positive way to navigate. Up until this point, every time you click on one of these exclaims, it shows that little fucking gold symbol on whichever circle you need to go to. Here it doesn't. So this is obviously in Act 1. It says you've killed Merveil, find the exit to her lair, and enter the forest. There was a little passageway behind where the boss was that opened up that I didn't notice at first. Look how close I had to be in order for it to reveal itself. I could have easily added one more line right here and a circle, and then it said Merveil's fucking lair. Now, I'm not complaining, but that could be easier to understand. This is the top left corner of the map. Remember this little square right here, right in front of this door. So we go down the stairs, and now we're here. We're in a completely separate area of the map, alright? Let's fast forward a little bit. Look how we're opening the map up. Awesome. Sick. Oh no, we died. We got stunned and then we got blasted, right? You'll notice something. Is I spawned way back in the beginning. Like this is that square I told you to remember, right? That's the square. And the place looks so fucking similar that I'm thinking I just came back from the place that I literally walked up earlier. But nope, I'm back in the first part of the map and I don't even know it. Now, here's another question for you. This is Temple of Decay level 2. We're still in Temple of Decay level 2, even though we walked down the stairs. That's so strange. But you can still see the map, so we're still on level 2. This overlay map is perfectly fine. I enjoy having an overlay. I think it's a good thing to have in a game, right? That is as confusing as this. However, if you're going to have an overlay, give a map button key, right? You press the map, you open the main map, and then you can mark it. And then you can look at your markers on the overlay, or you can look at it on the fucking radar at the top right. Like, there's no reason for you not to have an actual map. Here's the main issue with the overlay and only having it at the top right. The reason this is so confusing to me is because this is generally a square, right? Maybe a rectangle. It's got a little extra baggage down here. Unless I walk down, I will never know what's down here. If I had a map, I could see the whole thing and everything I've explored, so it'd be more... I'd be able to tell where I stepped and where I haven't. Like this shows you that you haven't been in this location, right? What about down here? What about up here? Is there something up here, right? If I had a giant map that showed the current Fog of War, what I have revealed in the Temple of Decay level 2, I wouldn't have this problem of thinking that I'm in the right spot because I can't see the other door. I can't see where I died, so I don't know if I'm in the right spot or not. This door right here, look how close I am to this door. Open a door, get one shot. Okay, where am I gonna respawn? Right next to the door right here, huh? Nope, all the way back here. Alright, here's the first boss, Hillock. I want to say about 70% or more of the bosses in this game spawn ads. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it feels like a gimmick where it's just like we don't know how to make a boss fight impactful without adding extra ads for you to kill. So we slowly kill her and she's dead. And now she has a phase 2. Transformed into her second form now. First boss in the game really, and more ads, second phase, easy peas. So now we're fighting the Weaver. Once again, it's another boss with ads everywhere. This is one of the times that it actually makes sense that you have a spider and then you have ads of mini spiders just covered in webs the entire time, so you move slower. Like, I'm spending all of this time killing these ads and killing all the spiders, and I'm not getting any XP for them. It's not mechanically intense at all, it's just annoying. And your inventory's full again, and then you gotta fucking... Alright, so here's our next boss fight. And as you can see, there are ads once again. We beat the boss and die at the same time. It is what it is. I don't care about dying, there's no punishment for it, so I've given up on trying to avoid mechanics because it doesn't, there's no reason to, because you can just walk right back into the boss fight. It was going so well. It was actually, so like, look, this is my complaint with the boss fights in this game, okay? Let's count the things going on in this picture. There is the boss. Say it's a stomp. The lava fall relocates to take other half AoE. How many balls does it shoot out? 20 balls. And that takes about half of the arena. So he's got a stomp and then he's got a leap. Ground, slam, AoE. AoE. Melee strikes. The time in between animations. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to attacking. 1.5 seconds. Spawning ads. About 4 seconds. Now we got ads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 2 lava falls. Blue ladies. And there's 8 of them. And they do ranged floaty fire skulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time you get hit, you stagger, which makes you get hit again, and it interrupts whatever action you were gonna do. How many things on the screen during this little part of the boss fight do you have to avoid? So at minimum, at any time, I'm dealing with 47 things at one time. And let's look at his AoE. Way over here. That is more than half of the map. I can dodge his attacks pretty well by itself. It's a lot harder to dodge when you're getting staggered by every attack from 7 floating balls or 6 floating balls, 2 lava spewing volcano fucking lava falls, and a boss that's spamming AoE attacks at the same time. This is a boss fight where it expects you to know the dodge mechanics. Like, imagine if my defenses weren't as good as they are, and they're not great, but imagine if I had less defenses and I was melee focused only. Where in that boss fight was there a spot for me to punish the boss with melee attacks? There's one spot where there's 800 things on the screen that you have to take into account. You have to dodge them, or you're going to get semi-staggered, and then you're going to get combo staggered after you get hit by one of the floating balls, or one of the fucking magma spewers, or one of the boss's attacks into the others. Not only is this fight not intuitive, but it's unfair. And like, I know it sounds like I'm whining, oh, it's not a fair fight. Please, why don't you give me something easier? Like, it's not about easier, it's not about harder. It's about, why are bosses fun in the first place? I've only had one boss fight in the entire game so far that did not have ads. And into the next boss fight. Alright, this is just the boss. Nope, it's literally a bunch of ads as mini bosses first. I get 2-shot by that guy. I'm approaching, I'd say, my second wall in the game, where the content is becoming too strong and too difficult to complete at a decent level. Like, just a bunch of ads. Alright, now the real boss fight happens. Alright, dodging the mechanics, there's more ads. I can't move because there's ads in my way. You have to kill them or else you get stuck. Alright, you beat him, and then here's another second phase boss. But there's no ads, at least. Just rain everywhere. You can barely see what's going on because everything's red. Oh, there is ads, I lied. I'm auto-attacking instead of using my ability. Too much shit on the screen. I'm trying to get away from him. Trying to click past him. He doesn't want to walk around or under. Alright, one auto-attack halves my life. At this point, I don't care about the mechanics. I just want to kill it and be done with it. Technically, this is the second boss without ads, if you don't count these floating swords. Alright, here we go again with another boss fight. This is a decent time after the last boss fight. It still has the same icons up there, so I'm still not sure what that means. Alright, there's a bunch of ads in this one. Little buttholes that are coming from the ground. And then they spawn more ads. Little slugs that stop you, and this is a bad boss fight because of the same reasons the fire boss was bad. See, I just auto-attacked that thing for no reason. There we go, auto-attacked again. Alright, next boss fight. Here we go. Me versus 2 yellow mobs. Alright, here we go. This is Maligaro. Yeah, no real ads on this one either. We beat Umbra pretty easily, and there are books as ads in this one. Now Exile telling me to attack. His shield goes away. Good mechanic. Then immediately after, he does this fucking shotgun blast of attacks. Alright, sending out little worms to fight with you at the same time. Okay, there's balls. This isn't bad so far. This is still manageable. Now I go into the Black Heart. Let's see what the second half is all about. Oh, it really is a heart. Okay, now we got ads. So in order to make a boss fight more difficult, you just throw in more ads. Still, I don't think this is as bad as the fire boss. Walk into the fire orb, and that's my fault. Not only is there ads, he's being shielded. There's these balls flying everywhere. The zombies are still present. These little traps are on the floor, so you can't walk on those. And now there's a floating ball of aura death. At the same time, he's doing his largest AoE attack. Still, not as bad as the fire boss. Alright, next boss fight. Now this is a very big map, so that means there's a lot of space for you to move around and attack the boss. Already, I think this is the biggest boss fight arena so far. Great. That's a cool ass attack. Alright, we got ads. 2 main bosses without ads. What do we die from? Read up here. It's all the elements and a circle icon. So now it's 2 bosses. At least there's no ads, right? And only a couple things to dodge on the screen. It's really not that bad. It's like the 3rd boss in a row that has his attack. Ads again. And the good thing about this fight is that there is no ads. Oh wait, what's that? And that. Uh-oh. I died about, I don't know, 12 times, 13 times. Alright, here's another boss. And it's got more ads. And shield ads. And a totem that's spinning fire in the middle of the room. There's no punishment for dying at this rate. A boss not only has ads, but it also has a second boss in the room. This one's doing melee, and these are the books again. And now I'm dead. Giant crab guy. Okay. Alright, spawning ads, just like any good crab will do. So let's make... This is a decent boss fight so far. It's very easy to register what he's doing. There's a bunch of fucking ads, sure, are manageable. Because look how much space you have in here. That's a pretty decent amount of space. Now he does it again, and the space gets way smaller. Because the boss is taking up half of it. But it's fine. It's done. It's easy. Alright, next boss. Super exciting boss, though. Oh, this is multiple. Oh, whatever damage this is, I'm clearly resistant to it. Because yellow enemies in the open world can kill me more than this dude. Now there's ads again. There's ads and then a bunch of balls and a fucking... Like, this is... Alright, next boss. I think this is one of the last bosses I'm gonna fight. Guideless, that is. It's a bunch of shit to dodge, like And then there's these little stacks on me. I have no idea what those stacks are doing. All I know is I'm not dealing enough damage, and I'm taking way too much damage. It's like when a fight isn't difficult and it's just annoying, like, so we just die a bunch of times. Alright. More ads. Alright, we did it. Easy peas. The first mechanic of many in the game, Necropolis. Right off the rip, and it tells you the description of what a zombie is, and then it gives you these little drag and drop things, right? All you would have to do to make this less confusing, just put the word enemies in front of gain. Enemies gain 25 physical damage as lightning damage. There, you should put a question mark. And this should explain the mechanics of what the fuck this thing is. What does plus 40% coffins mean on fire? And then once you're in the map, what I just killed was a dripping dead. This is a zombie. That's the bird thing. This does not say dripping dead. Unless you're looking for it, kill it. See this little fucking little shadow beam? What the hell is that? Where is it going and why? Don't know. That's the same weird gray, black, shadowy crap, right? Alright, I hit the button finally and I find it. This says lightning modifiers are 300% scarcer. Scarcer for what? And then it says modifiers that are 100% scarcer have weighting halved. What is weighting? And why is it being halved? And what does that mean? Then there's that little coffin button, and then there's a collect button. And then here we go to our next lantern of RMR, right? Yellow. Yellow is good. Yellow means rare. Final pack spawns the Nameless Seer on death. What the fuck is a Nameless Seer? Why is there a 1 down here instead of a 2 like it was last time? About an hour and 30 minutes and I'm already starting to give up on the door mechanic, whatever it is. It's basically just become a nuisance and something I don't want to associate with. That gave them more shit to kill me with. But what did I get from it? That's the real question. So I've put in a bunch of these fucking souls into the floor, and he said it does matter what direction you put them in. And there's a craft button on every single corpse. If I hit this craft button, all of the corpses disappear. There should be over here, or maybe over here, combine all corpses to craft an item. That's what happens when I click one of those buttons. Rarity unique, item level 29. And these are the modifiers that are fighting against each other to create an item. Now instead of telling me what I'm doing, it says requires 4 different numbers of this family line to create a unique item. I clicked on this necromancer. Now it says Nevalius. Is that a name? Is it a modifier? Now underneath it says, may painters and poets of the Nevalius family spread the story of the eternal empire far and wide. So it sounds like another item description. I can't create this item. This is what you were supposed to look at. Haunted by Lilius Nevalius. But I need 4 of them? Okay, I don't know what that means. Try to click on a different one and exercise it. It doesn't work. What does that mean? 4 different members of this family line. Nevalius. 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 This is unnecessarily confusing. The fact that you can click on each corpse, you can hit the craft on that corpse, and then the first thing it shows you when you click on the corpse is Nevalius. This is the only difference between all of these corpses right here. Now, another way you could make this less confusing, in the Undertaker RMR menu, add another one right here that says Family Lines, Hauntings. Finally found it. Haunted by, oh, okay. So if I leave this and I come back, there's no way you could, before this point, understand that you need an X amount of them. There's no way you would know that. In order to get this out of the floor, you need to dig it out, which means you destroy the corpse. I don't want to waste this corpse. I don't know what's going to come out of it. So I'm gonna go play until I find Navalius. I never found another Navalius, another system that doesn't need to exist, or needs to be less complicated. Alright, so we're finally going back to the Necropolis, and this is after like 20-ish levels, a decent amount of time later. And our corpses are still here from Lilius Navalius. We still can't exercise anything. Okay, so we tried to bury all of it. We have more modifiers now. We finally give up, and we destroy the corpse. Now it's gone forever, and now we can finally create an item. So wait, all of those corpses are going into one ring? Oh my god. I couldn't craft an item because I didn't have 4 members of the family line to make an item. This is a ring. It can't have linked sockets. Why let you do it? What is 1000 minus 600? There's 400% chance I'm gonna get a fire affix on this ring. I should have had a fire and a cold affix on there. 2 explicit modifiers. 10% increase to quality, up to 30%. Awesome. Wow. What kind of dumb-ass way to... This is like gambling, right? It's obviously like a gamble system. You throw in a bunch of fucking dice into a bowl, you throw them on a table, and then you look at it after you've mixed them all up, right? Armor can roll haunted modifiers. Armor can, so that means there's a possibility that haunted modifiers are going to appear on this ring. What is the base chance? You have 1,000 increased chance of fire modifiers. That's a lot of percentages. I got no fire on here. I got no ice on here. I do have a life on here. Like, if you wanted to create the perfect item, you couldn't, because these are so vague. Minimum 4 linked sockets. Is the player supposed to know how many defense modifiers, attribute modifiers, speed modifiers they're allowed to have on a ring? It says +2 explicit modifiers. What does explicit mean? Are these 2 stats right here the 2 explicit modifiers? Fire, cold, life, defense, attribute, speed, physical, fire, cold, mana. What is my overall percentage chance after adding these modifiers? Do the math for us so we don't have to sit here and guess. What was the base chance that I was going to get a cold modifier? What is that 1000% chance adding on to? Nowhere on here does it say anything about physical, aka strength, except for 600% scarcer. Then how come I got 16 to strength? Maybe I save all my corpses that have a 1000 increased chance of speed modifiers. How many do you need to put in here? Do you need to fill the entire graveyard with 1000% increased chance for it to matter? They let you add things that are impossible already. Can all of this stuff roll on a ring? I don't know. What is a haunted modifier? I don't know. What is an explicit modifier? I don't know. What are the base chances? I don't know. At first glance, it's not that bad. It says to use the blood altar. Let's go use the blood altar. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 doors that I could potentially go through. Scratch that. There's 5 doors. Here's the blood altar. It gives you a picture, unhighlighted picture of one monster, and then these little yellow circles that I don't know what the fuck that means. So if you hovered over it, any rare creature from what? Where? So you activate the blood altar. Alright, quest complete. We've killed the enemies. We go back to the blood altar, and now we have a unique shield in our pocket. Problem is when you hover over any of these items, it doesn't tell you how do you activate these ones? How do you get the belt? How do you get the helmet? How do you get the body armor? How do you get these items? Game isn't telling you how. These are the things that I want to know about, right? I click the blood altar, and he starts going off on a tangent about when the end arrives, we must be ready. The first ones, who's the first ones? If I hover over a stack of 8 chromatic orbs, it should say, whatever the fuck I need to do to unlock these 4 things to show up. Find question mark, question mark, question mark in area. Crabs in question mark, question mark, question mark area, so I at least know what the fuck, where the fuck these are coming from. Stores a beast in an item. What the fuck does that mean? This is the second system that I've shown you, and it's almost about as confusing as the first one. The next system that we have come across after the blood altar. Overall, I think this system is actually... Oh wait, never mind. This is the stupid corruption altar. Okay, this is way worse. So I have a wand, so I wanted to test what the hell it does. So I stick this wand inside, so you shove it in there, and it comes out. What the why is that even in the game? I had to come back because I didn't explain what actually happened here, but like, I created a weapon that was the exact same as the weapon I put in. So I corrupted a weapon, and then it says it modifies it randomly, but it just added the corrupted title at the bottom. I was so confused, man. Another system that's too confusing for me to care about, so I just don't care about it. It's called the Ritual Altar. Fend the flag type activity, right? Right, and so we just go through. There's this little meter at the bottom, and it looks like it's increasing for each thing I kill. I do it a couple of times, and I end up 351 tribute, which is what I was gaining at the bottom. I mean, I guess these are useful. Are you going to lose these? Off the rip, it doesn't really tell you much. There is this little icon that I could have and should have clicked. My problem with this is that it's the third mechanic in a short time period where I've just looked at and gotten overwhelmed by the amount of things that are happening. This is relatively simple compared to the other ones. So I buy the orb and then I leave, I do my skill tree, and I found another altar. And I kept the currency I had from the last one, because we're assuming that if there was one and there's two, that means there's probably three. So this system, if I had to rate it, I'd probably rate this higher than the last two. You have the points, you spend your points, or you don't. That's it. This is the only one that's given me clear rewards, and like, it's not exciting. This wasn't exciting to me. It's just another system. Next mechanic in the game that is unexplained, kind of like a lot of these currencies. There's cards that you picked up, 20x quality currency. Where do I put this card? There's nothing on the screen that is telling me what to do with this card right now. Do I put it in my inventory? Do I add it to a deck? Do I have to have 5 out of 5 to get this effect? There's cards in this game. It's a card game. You're supposed to know what it is and why it's there. Now, at this point, I know what this character is before I even talk to him. As his name, a comma, and then what he does. The NPCs that offer you the stupid mechanics always have those identifying factors. Alright, cool. So we've entered the mine. The only thing I know currently is that that icon means sulfur, and there's a couple paths I can choose. Why would I go right before going left? Well, there's treasure chests here throughout the game. Treasure chests don't drop anything anyways, so I don't know why I would go there. I'm assuming it's probably better to go towards armor. Contains azurite. Don't know what azurite is. Don't know what this icon means. Don't know what that icon means. Don't know what this icon means. So now we click one. We follow this fucking thing. A couple blue spiders here I can't teleport through. Into a bunch of blue bats and I never touched that mechanic ever again. Never doing that again. So this is probably like my 4th strongbox, and I stopped doing the blue ones because the blue ones don't drop anything. Now I have to backtrack all the way back to where this fucking box is. Slowly try to kill all these monsters. And that's what I get from the box. Another mechanic. These are little buffs that you're getting by beating all the bosses or whatever, and they don't feel very impactful or important or cool, and you can only pick one of each type, I think. Alright, this is the next mechanic in the game, the next system. Now I'd say in general, this mechanic isn't bad. I think this is a pretty neat concept, pretty decent designed. It's letting you decide how you want your items. So you read through these, you see what you like about each of them, and then you put your little detonating line dynamite thingies wherever you want them, and then you get whatever you asked for. Overall, what you're going to do, well, what I did was look for the yellow chest versus the white chest, and that's basically how I looked at it. So all the reading I just skip because it's just a lot of reading. Let's see what we get from all the chests. First chest, blue and 2 white. Cool there. Blue. Cool in there. Greaves, armor. Another chest over here. Blue. Blue boots. 1 yellow. The concept of that is cool, but the rewards suck, just like everything else in the game. So, out of all the systems though, this is the one I like the most, I think, so far. Alright, first one. 2 blues. A mace. Another blue mace. More blues. And that's it. The Vaal caves, like little dungeons with neat little rewards at the end. So this is one of the mechanics I didn't mind. It's fairly decent, understandable. It's just a little bit stronger monsters, and at the end you get guaranteed, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get some of those materia, and that's completely okay. I think there's nothing wrong with this mechanic. So the next mechanic, so you jump into the portal and you start killing things. Looks like you get decent drops of currencies. Now you have a timer up here. For what reason? I have no idea. And it's over. Our next mechanic. You have 12 incursions remaining. Here's your entrance. Here's one path you can go, or you can go to the tombs. Tomb unsealed. What will it yield? Well, that's a lot of information to go off of. So you have a place to pick, and then you have this weird square. Kill to change the Shrine of Empowerment. What is the Shrine of Empowerment? Kill to change to Workshop. Put together Workshop is right here. What is it? What is this trying to tell you? Like, I don't understand. You're in here, you're going here, and in the tombs, front and back, right? We can assume that change to Workshop is right here, because it says Workshop. Behind it is tunnels, or entrance. What am I getting when I go in here? What is this? Let's find out. Alright, we're in. Awesome. Shit tons of monsters out of nowhere, right? I spawned from the top. How did I spawn at the top? Okay, we're killing enemies. We have a seconds gauge up here. Now I have a little yellow bar here at the bottom. How many monsters I've killed. So I go to this red door and it's nothing, and my time runs out. Green door probably means you can pass through a green door into maybe another incursion, or maybe you're unlocking another incursion on the map. Red door is bad. Why would I start at the workshop side if I started from the entrance? And even if that's not how it works, well, why am I supposed to understand this? What is this? It's just another confusing system that you don't want to just... Why? It doesn't... Whatever. There's so many of them, and they all do so many different things that you're put off from using them because you don't know how valuable they are. You don't know... I have better luck finding things on the floor with reasonable affixes than I do trying to modulate an item that I currently have into something else, because most of them, except for the quality increase, are random. So nothing is set in stone to where I feel like I've earned something. It's that I've just earned something that I can use to gamble my items into dust, basically. At least this early in the game. Omen of Refreshment. Each player can only consume one omen in each combat area. Is that just a normal map? Is that a PvP thing? Is it something else? What the fuck is that? Okay, so if you put this in your inventory, is it consumed? I know what a Chaos Orb is because it tells me clearly what it does. This is a really cool part in the game that I found. I love loot situations that are like, oh my god, this is awesome. Holy crap, that hasn't happened before. This was one of those moments in the game that I felt like I'm being rewarded for my time for exploring. You do get a currency at the end of this event, which is these, right? So another 5 currencies. And this is like, remember, like the mining one had a currency, this one has a currency, the beast hunting one had technically a currency because you had to have certain monsters, I guess, and then you had to, I don't know, capture them and put them in a jar or something, so that had a currency. The ritual site had a currency, corpse thingy, the corpses are the currency. There's so many different currencies in this game. As a new player, you're just flooded with all of it. What's inside the smuggler's cache? What the fuck is this? These are all of the currencies that I have collected up until this point. This is a currency tab that I bought with real money in order to organize it, because having this is almost essential for this game. And I still don't understand the fucking... Let's count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. 52 currencies. This isn't even accounting for the rogue coins, the fucking... when you dig up shit. Doesn't count for the mine currencies, it doesn't count for the ritual currencies, it doesn't account for maps, cards. If you clicked this button right here, exotic, another like 30 currencies on that page. And then there's these things called essences, which are little pieces of like little tiny fragments that you can help to put in your gear to make them better. There's like an entire page of like 90 of those, maybe 100. And like, it's just so much fucking shit. These are not only items, right, that modify what you do. You have to pay a certain amount of these to get other things, or it could even be more of these. All right, then we get our first look at this incredibly complicated skill tree. I don't have to say anything. You know how Elden Ring's map goes like, you start in this little tiny area, you haven't unlocked the map yet, and then you unlock your first piece, and then you have a square of map that you can navigate through with dark edges, and that's all you have to focus on. It doesn't give you the entire map all at once. And it was at this point where I tried to look at the in-game menu to figure out what my class did. So I tried to see if there was a stat imbalance here before I picked a skill point to jump into. But you start 20, 20, and 20. So this kind of leads you to believe that the character that you chose doesn't matter, and it's something that'll just sit in the back of my mind for the rest of my playthrough, as I don't know exactly what my class is designed for, or if it even matters. We grab our lightning tendrils, and then we put a point into mana. Blue, we got red, we got green. Dexterity, intelligence, and strength, right? But probably I'm gonna get more spells, so I just jump into the mana train. I decided to kind of go caster, I guess, so I went and grabbed the mana all the way up until here, and then I ended up getting some elemental damage because I'm using elemental attacks. I grabbed some more mana shit, went over here, got some extra energy shield and spell damage and mana, and then I went all the way up here and I grabbed critical chance for spells. And then I grabbed more intelligence, more spell damage, increased cast speed. I grabbed this node because I use lightning the most. And then I went all the way up here. And then I grabbed more mana, increased maximum mana, and then I gained spell damage per maximum mana. We're sitting at 860 mana. And then, I mean, we have more mana than we do health at this point. Went down instead, grabbed some strength nodes, grabbed both dexterity and intelligence right here. This is for item requirements, and I grabbed mace proficiency. And then after the mace crap, I went this way to get armor and energy shield. % increased armor for each of these little nodes. That's ridiculous. And obviously damage reduction from critical strikes. At this point, under regular assumptions, as a new player, the resistance to fire is 75%. That means if I have 100 health, if someone uses a fire attack that deals 100 damage, that means I should only take 25 damage. Armor is the protection against physical damage only. Okay, so armor shouldn't even be, it shouldn't matter at all. The intuitive nature of what fire resistance is versus my character level and the life that I have at this character level tell me why I'm dying at all against a fire boss. My resistances and my health, they don't matter as much as I thought they did. I looked inside of this menu that was hidden away, right? And I clicked this tab that was not the first tab to check my defenses because I figured I was doing something wrong. I'm not going to say all new players, but some probably won't even know this menu exists. How are they going to understand why they're dying? Let's say I have a total of 1,000 life points. If I'm being two-shot, that means that the damage I'm receiving is roughly 500 plus 500. That is 75% less of what it was going to do. My current life without inputting anything into life against a boss that is 3 or 5 to 6 levels under me, like those numbers don't feel right. Defense, 77% physical damage reduction, almost 5,000 armor, 75% in all resistances but chaos resistance. Why is this a bonus? This is just you telling the player that they stun too much. Yellow strongbox. And not die? This is what dropped out of it. Is a Scion a monk? It's gotta be, right? That's why she has no weapons. Everyone else has weapons, she has no weapons. This is the first door to this entire area, okay? This is the waypoint. I died way up here, and then I respawned way back here. Alright, we finally get back there. That's 2 minutes of walking. It literally starts you all the way back where you first entered the area. So I had to let go of some cold resistance, but I still have 75 lightning, 75 fire, and almost 50% damage reduction. This is fantastic. Six levels under where I'm at. Another weird thing is, why do these take up so much space on the screen? If they're super important for the season to have these corpses and then you have to collect them, just have them look like items with a different color. Like that way you know what it is. This is literally, look how big these are. It's taking up so much screen and they're not fully opaque so you can't see through them. Don't worry, I can easily take on 2 yellow mobs. Like, you can get to a point where you're attacking one enemy and fall asleep while you're attacking it. What is this? Look at this. This is a green background. We got green trees. We got green grass. We got green floor. We got green fucking plants. All of it. All of this is green. My attacks, for the most part, are blue. Pausing right here. Now I want you guys to count the enemies on the screen. We'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, These are all dead, I think. Okay. So that's what we're guessing, right? So there's an enemy here. I just killed something over here. And that's it, right? Watch this. That looks like a root. That doesn't look like a fucking monster. This looks like it's part of the environment, and you have to really, really look to see that it just blended inside of this corpse, and now he's dead. Just because I have an AoE skill. There he goes. He just jumped right there. Now if I didn't see him jump over here, I would think that this is part of that. Where did he go? Where did he go? That's all I have to say about that one. Of all of the preparation that went into getting to this moment, how much I looked at my damage, how much I looked at my defenses, how much I tried to optimize my gear to have 75% resistances and 87% damage reduction at this point in the game. Almost 15,000 damage per second with my ability. And I open this door to a bunch of normal ass enemies and get one shot. Oh, something's shooting me from across the map again. This entire game, I've been trying to be cognizant of how much attention I have to pay to my defensive stats. I still came up dry. Like, I'm maxed out on resistances at this point. The game is telling me I suck and I'm doing something wrong, but it's not telling me what, why, how to fix it. Is Path of Exile actually able to be played without a guide, without looking anything up, without using a loot filter, without Googling a single answer? Is it enjoyable? Well, for me, I'd say probably not. I couldn't do it. This game is definitely playable without one, but if like you're brand new and you've never seen an ARPG before, so many opportunities to fail in this game. This is only my opinion. This is what I went through. If you play the game and you're having fun, then that's it. Don't fucking let anyone else tell you otherwise.